made this religion communism. But he says, comment?
I thought it was socialism. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting my history wrong. I thought Marx was socialism and another guy was communism.
Lenin?
John Lennon?
No, Lenin, L-E-N-I-N.
Sorry, I just got it.
Lenin did like him some socialism and communism.
Wait a minute, my synapses are still firing. Let me get that back. I'll snazify this a little bit.
Satisfied, I like it. Wasn't there a candy, like, way back when, called like Snaz something?
I have absolutely no idea.
But like this size and like hard, smooth. Oh, dang it, what are they called? It was like,
Skittles?
no.
For some reason, there's no image available of this. I have it at home. So this is a book by Lenin. That's not the same one. Shag v'yod dva shaga nazad means one step forward, two steps back. You've heard that expression, right? Pardon?
Yes! It starts with an R.
Rose? They're,
Sorry.
they got sidetracked by a specific kind of candy.
Because you said, what'd you say? You said something.
Snazify?
Snazzify. And then I thought of a candy, but I thought it started with an S, and it didn't, and it's actually Razzles. And I just. my
Is that the
brain
one
was
that's
very
like
weird.
also gum? Yeah.
I'm sorry. I will.
This is your class. You guys, in a way, it's a democracy. So do what you guys want with it. I'm just getting paid. Actually, my wife is the one that's getting paid. But yeah.
It's the. What says 2 steps forward?
One step Rodriguez one?
Yeah. Did one of them have that in English? Maybe. But that's yeah. So Vladimir. We say in English, we like to say Vladimir, but the Russians say Vladimir. Because of where the stresses are, one thing. But that's Lenin. One of, actually I could have just done Wikipedia. So often they refer to it as Marxist-Leninism, but it's actually communism was Karl Marx's shtick, if you may call it a shtick.
You said communism was you said.
He did the Communist Manifesto in London, in English, as a pamphlet. He was contracted by the International Communist Party kind of thing in the Red Lion, which is a hangout in London. Well, it just is. You could go see pictures. She shows it. Gosh, I didn't catch her name. I used to know her name. I would know her name if I looked it up and reminded me. But the person who was doing the narration of the BBC presentation on the 3 economists, including Marx, she shows that Red Lion, and in fact has lunch there during the video. So that's pretty cool. If you want to see what it looks like, go look that video up.
Do you still have it in your tab?
Do I still have it there? I do, actually. It won't show me the pictures of. Shoot. Maybe I have to have it running.
Done for the people running a bank to take a huge chunk of the profits for themselves.
So you took the job you had to.
Well, you didn't say everything was all bad. Far from it.
Here it is.
This cocktail bar in London Soho hides a revolutionary past. It used to be the Red Lion pub, site of a clandestine meeting of communists in 1847 that would echo down the ages. It was at that meeting that they commissioned Karl Marx and his sidekick Friedrich Engels. to
Video
write
doesn't
one
have
of the most incendiary
subtitles,
documents of
I don't know
all
why.
time, the Communist Manifesto.
So, yeah, Lenin is just picking up. He had to the main influence that Lenin had on Marxist philosophy was that Marx thought that there was a natural progression of history that would, kind of be like scientific, logical, this leads to this and this leads to this, so that historically, there are all these different periods, right? And he's following Hegel here, because Hegel does that when he talks about the philosophy of history and the history of philosophy, does both. And so you get, the historical progression through an interpretation that says that, history is leading to more and more freedom from one civilization to the next, right? Marx throws away the spiritual side of the interpretation associated with Hegel and focuses on the materialism. So instead of a dialectic for Marx, what's happening is a dialectical materialism. And famously, he says he took Hegel's head out of the clouds of spirit and plopped them down onto the solid earth, so he's still Hegelian, but there's no dynamic between what we would think of sociologically as our spirit. I'm sure there's a good word for that in contemporary social thinking, right?
Did he view communism as a religion?
Yes, as a state religion. Remember I mentioned that Mill says, yes, we can do away with the traditional religions, but we still need religion, but what we need is a state religion in order to keep society structured. Auguste Comte was arguing the same thing in his positivism, right? And the big difference between Mill and Auguste Comte, which I didn't point out, is that for Mill, attendance and things at state religious functions ought to be free. Your free choice. You don't have to go to the parade. When there's a parade, everybody might like to go. In Eagle River, I know it's really, you really have to go because they throw candy at your kids while they go by. And the kids learn that. And so they want to go to the parades because they want to have the candy thrown at them so that they can get the free candy. And they run around in the street picking up all the candy, putting it in the bag, until they're teenagers, and then they think, I'm not going to that parade.
Ooh, trust
I'm
me,
embarrassed now.
teenagers.
They still go? They still go.
Yeah,
Free
candy's
candy.
free candy, man.
Free candy, wow. Well, in any case, it's free for you to go. You don't have to go. You can stay home if you like. In France, attendance at those kind of national functions was mandatory, or at least for a while. I don't know if it still is at all. But in communist countries, you have to show up. You've got to, have your thing stamped that you attended the parade. And then you waved the flag, and when Putin went by, you went, yay! Or you go to jail. I mean, it's
It would be really funny for the police to show up at your house and they're just like, you didn't go to the parade. What's the deal here?
Exactly. Well, in Russia though, they come at night. They don't come during the day, and they knock on your door, and that's referred to as a stukach, a knock.
They knock.
They knock at the door before they smash it open. The thing of it is those are usually apartments, so they hear the stukach, and then they come in, and everyone in the whole apartment complex is all worried. Is it neat?
Just go to the
Because
parade.
you know that they're going to go up and they're going to grab a particular resident and drag them off, beat them to a pulp and say, you didn't go to the parade, etc. You know, what kind of Russian are you? Oh, etc., etc. So that's kind of cool. So it is a state religion. And when he says religion is the opiate of the masses, it sounds like he's saying we should do away with religion, right? No, that's not the case. Opiates are great. It's like saying, you know, we should do away with aspirin because it relieves pain. No one says that. Everyone says, should I take more aspirin than I'm taking? No, don't take more, because you know you get these little yellow aspirin because they want to keep your blood thin enough that you don't have what's it called when you can't.
Alzheimer's?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
It's very ironic that you couldn't remember the name for Alzheimer's.
Hey.
That was a joke.
Um,
People laugh at it and no one noticed it.
So you say it's a
Because you
state
forget so
religion,
well.
but I
You
feel
did it
like
so
it's
well.
more of a forced religion if they're gonna be forced out of their apartment and beat to a pulp.
I think
If they're
it's,
not gonna be at a parade.
I think
I
it's,
see it's a more of a forced, you see what I'm saying?
Well,
it's a
like
forced state religion, you know?
you'd be normally at work
Yeah.
on a state holiday, but the work is closed down because every worker has to go to the parade and wave, you know, their,
So it is forced.
yeah.
What about the parade workers?
Well, they're forced to go to the parade because they're in the parade.
And work, forced
I more
work,
mean like the people that plan the route, the people that, you know, set up the decorations.
they're part of the government. Wait, there is, I don't know.
You get the idea.
The minerals in that is crazy.
You could go to different,
Я судеб сегодня,
today, сегодня is today,
который был, есть и будет для России
which will be for Russia.
священным.
Well, let's
Он
not
наш
do this.
по праву арабского стиля.
But notice everybody's there. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to go.
Наш
Stop!
по праву наследников
There you go.
They just get them.
Everybody's there. Old people with their best, you know, outfits, etc. But a neat
Go to
thing.
the hospital. Is the hospital still open?
So what they do is they put everybody in
Just
the
the
hospital in a
hospitals open.
wheelchair.
Okay, good.
I just remembered something. So a couple of years ago, I took this do you know what the CLEP exams are? To
Yes.
get your free credit. I did one of those for a sociology credit. I tried to get it. I got 69, but this school only takes 70. I was up 1 point up. Anyway, and every single time I saw something super dramatic, like opiate of the people, something like nowadays it's so edgy. Back then, I don't know, it was new and cool for everyone. But anyway, anytime I saw something super dramatic like that, I was like, Karl Marx.
Yeah,
Every
and
single
Feuerbach.
time. And
I guess. I don't know if
looked-
Feuerbach
I looked-
actually ever said
I
it.
looked
but-
up 90% of them and I was correct almost every time. When it was something dramatic.
Wait, you looked this up on Word or in
No,
the-
after.
Ah.
I wanted to check some of my answers because you don't know your score right away.
I would have looked it up during the exam.
They don't let me.
They don't let
me.
me.
They don't let me.
We're gonna need permission to.
Yeah.
But as far as as far as traditional religions, remember he was raised a Christian, a Protestant, even though his family was Jewish. His father changed to Protestant Christianity to keep his job as a state lawyer, right? So he was raised as a Protestant, but obviously becomes an atheist following Feuerbach. And so when he talks about religion in the traditional sense, says it's not my self-consciousness, but my alienated self-consciousness confirmed in it. So, all the kinds of things I've kind of suggested as we've been going through our history that suggest, if Jesus comes to your door and you know it's him and he's God, and he says, sell everything you have and come follow me, would you go or would you argue with him? Right? Well, if you think about it, the push, I think, is certainly there that really consumerism is bad, and if we instead were kind of like monks, just eating the barest minimum of what we need and trying to respect the environment instead of making so much plastic and all the other stuff, right? We wouldn't be in the fix we are today because of global warming, etc. Right? So there's this edgy aspect to that kind of Christian idea. American religions traditionally are more focused on, boy, if you're a member of our religion, God will give you $1 million for every $5 you put in the basket. So it's really pagan in that sense. It's a club. Join our club and you get all these benefits, right? The traditional Christianity, you join this club and you lose your desire for all the benefits, right? It's kind of like Buddhism in that sense, right? Avoid your attachment to things. Learn to have self-control and avoid your attachment to pleasures. Islam, by the way, haram, music. Music, if it makes you happy,